Hello aspirants, welcome to Current Affairs for Beginners session by La Excellence. This session will help beginners in reading the Hindu newspaper. Let me give you answers for yesterday's questions. The first question is, according to Prime Minister Mudra Yojana, Mudra Bank is responsible for regulating and refinancing which sector? And here 4 sectors are given, and the first sector is agriculture, infrastructure, automobile and microfinance institutions. And the correct answer is microfinance institutions. Under this Prime Minister Mudra Yojana, this Mudra Bank is responsible for regulating and refinancing microfinance institutions. So the correct answer is D, microfinance institutions. The second question is, consider the following statements. The first statement is about NRI, non-resident Indian. Here 3 clauses were given, and to know the statement is correct or not, you have to check whether these 3 clauses are correct or not. The first clause is about Indian citizen. NRI is an Indian citizen. If this is correct, try to tick it. That is, he is an Indian citizen. This is the correct one. And the second one is, who is ordinarily residing outside India. He is an Indian citizen who is ordinarily living outside India and he holds Indian passport. These 3 clauses are correct, so the statement is also correct. And the second one is, person of Indian origin or overseas citizen of India card holder are people whose ancestors of Indian nationality. That is, these persons of Indian origin or overseas citizen of India, these two are not having Indian nationality, but their ancestors, whether their parents or their parents, that is parents, they are having or they are of Indian nationality, and these people hold foreign passport. That is, persons of Indian origin or overseas citizen of India are the people who are having passports of foreign nation, but their ancestors are of Indian nation. So this statement is also correct, and as both the statements are correct, and here asked about correct answer, the option would be C, both. And the topics covered under today's score are aerosols, what it is, and what is the effect of these aerosols in the atmosphere. If this percentage of these aerosols are increasing, what are the effects of that aerosols? And the second one is, what is this term diurnal temperature? We have to discuss that. And the third one is OECD, Organization of Economic and Cooperation Development. What is this organization? Just a few sentences about that. And Wholesale Price Index. This is an economic term, and let us know what is the term is for prelims perspective. And you have to know what is this currency appreciation and what are the effects of this appreciation in the economy. And the sixth one is Human Development Index, who releases this report and what is there in the report in a nutshell we'll see. And the seventh one is IBC, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code. Let us see what it is. And the eighth one is Non-Performing Assets. It's also an economy term. Let's see what it is. And ninth one is Section 377. And 10th one is National AIDS Control Organization. And the 11th one is National Leprosy Eradication Program. And the 12th one is Antyodaya Anna yojana. What is this scheme about? Let us discuss all these 12 topics. The first article is Pollution Cools Monsoon Days. In this article, we have to discuss 2 terms. The first one is aerosols, and the second one is, what is this diurnal temperature difference? Before that, let me say the connection of this topic with the syllabus. This topic comes under GS paper 3, environment and ecology, and under subtopic of environmental pollution. And let us see what is this aerosols. These are nothing but a small fine solid particles or liquid droplets in the air. And these aerosols can be a natural one or anthropogenic one. For example, fog, you know what it is, dust, and some forest exudates, means after forest fires you will be having some dust that is released to the air, that one. These all are natural aerosols. These are nothing but very small and minute fine particles suspended in air or in any other gas. And let us see what are the examples of anthropogenic aerosols. These are haze and particular air pollutants like you might have listened PM 2.5, PM 10. These are anthropogenic aerosols that is suspended in atmosphere. And the second word to be discussed is diurnal temperature difference. What is this temperature difference? During daytimes around 12 o'clock we'll be having the maximum temperature, and during night at 12, 1, this time we'll be having minimum difference, that is minimum temperature. This difference we call as diurnal temperature difference. This difference is so important, and based on this temperature difference only we'll be getting rainfall. How? See, day temperature is more, then water evaporates and cloud formation, and if night temperatures because of low pressure everything, again this precipitation process occurs. So for the rainfall this temperature difference plays a very major role. In this article they are saying because of this aerosols percentage in the atmosphere is increasing, this temperature is decreasing, so that this rainfall pattern may change and the cloud formation pattern also may change. These two effects are discussed in this article. So in this article you should know about what is aerosol. This is nothing but suspension of very small particles in the atmosphere. And you should know about this diurnal temperature difference. This is nothing but difference between the maximum temperature and the minimum temperature of the day. And here I have said about the effects of increased emissions of the aerosols in the atmosphere. The second article is Economics Should Have Predicted Lehman Collapse, OECD Chief. Here in this article we have to know what is this OECD. And to connect to syllabus, this is from GS paper 3, Economy and Development. And what is this OECD? To know about this organization, you should know about the background of the organization. In 1948, we have an organization called Organization for European Economic Cooperation. Why this organization was formed is to help the administration, that is to help administer the Marshall Plan. That is to execute the Marshall Plan, this organization was established. What is this Marshall Plan? This plan, that is after Second World War, to help Western European countries, US thought to help these Western European countries. So after Second World War, to help Western European countries, this plan was formulated, and to execute this plan, this Organization for European Economic Cooperation was formed. And now, in 1961, this organization was changed as Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. And this is now is a 36 member country. Now you can ask a question whether only European countries are part of this. No. US is part of this. Korea, Japan are part of this. Australia are part of this, and try to see what are the 36 countries that are part of this. At least see whether India is part of that, or any other Asian countries are part of that, or Pakistan is part of that, to know more about prelims. And this organization is to stimulate two things, that is to stimulate or encourage the economic progress and world trade. These two are the main goals or main things that this organization is doing. And this organization mainly consists of high income economies and with a high human development index. And what is this human development index? We'll see in the same video of another article. But for now, remember this OEEC was changed as OECD in 1961, and the two main things is economic progress and world trade. And most high economy countries are member countries of this organization. Rupee gains for second straight day. Here we have to see what is this rupee appreciate or rupee appreciation. See, if you follow the news from 1 month or so, we are saying that rupee is depreciating. You should know what is this rupee depreciating and what is this rupee appreciating. Rupee depreciating means decrease in the value of rupee when compared to other currencies. And rupee appreciation means increase in the value of rupee when compared to other currencies. See, if suppose rupee value is 70, that is $1 is 70 rupees. Now suddenly $1 became 72. Then the value of the rupee is decreased. See, for 70 rupees we are getting $1, but you have to pay 72 rupees, that is increased in rupee, to have $1. That means rupee value is decreased. This is called depreciation of a rupee. And for example, $1 is 70 rupees and now $1 became 65 or 68 rupees, for example. Now this, see, for 70 rupees we are getting $1 and now for 68 only we are getting $1. That means the value of rupee is increased. This is called appreciation of the rupee. WPI inflation falls to 4.53% on cheaper food. Here you should know about what is inflation and what is this wholesale price index. What this index measures. The first one is inflation. This is the rate at which general level of prices for goods and services is rising, and consequently the purchasing power of the currency is falling. That is, here you have to know about two things. The first thing is prices of a product is rising, and the second thing is purchasing power is decreasing. For example, now price of 10 apples is 50 rupees and after some days the same 10 apples goes to around 60 or 70 rupees. See what happened? Gradually, after some days, the price was increased. And now, see, for 50 rupees only we'll get 10 apples. And now, to buy 10 apples, we need 70 rupees. Or for 50 rupees, we'll get around 8 or 7 apples. This we call as inflation. That is, the prices of a commodity increases and the purchasing parity or purchasing power reduces. So this we call as inflation. And to measure this inflation, we have so many indicators and wholesale price index is one among them. What it measures? It measures and tracks the changes in the price of goods and services. That is, before what is the price? That is 50 rupees. And now what is the price? 70 rupees. But here there is mention of the word wholesale. That is, it will measure the wholesale goods and services. That is, it will take some basket of goods and services around 70 or 140. There will be some count, some number of goods and services wholesale. That is, it will take average of all those goods and then it will measure what is the change before, that is what is the price of that goods in an average before and what is the price of that goods now, and thus it calculates wholesale price index. This is often expressed as ratio or percentage, and this will indicate the country's level of inflation. Power games. Here this article we can discuss under GS paper 3, Indian economy or economy and development, and in this we have to discuss what is this non-performing assets, and we also have to discuss what is this insolvency and bankruptcy code. Firstly, this article is about on Feb 12th, RBI has given a circular saying that banks have to list out non-performing assets even if the person has not repaid the loan for one day. That is, if today is the deadline for paying the loan and if he not paid today, tomorrow the banks are asked to have insolvency process, and within 180 days banks are asked to list this person and banks are asked to have insolvency proceedings on this person or a company according to IBC code. And today the Supreme Court has ordered to stay this RBI's decision, that is to stop for some time this RBI's decision. In this process we have to discuss what is this NPA non-performing asset and what is this IBC code. Non-performing asset means, for suppose if a person have taken a loan or if a company has taken a loan and this loan has not paid, whether this loan, that is the amount, principal amount, the loan amount he is taken, the principal amount, or he'll be paying some interest, that is monthly or according to the bank rules he'll be paying interest. If this amount or the interest have not paid for 90 days, then banks will call this loan as non-performing assets. And you should know what is this insolvency and bankruptcy code. Before, you should know who is insolvent and who is bankrupted. Insolvent is the state of being distress. That is, if a person is unable to pay his debt, then he'll be calling as insolvent. But bankruptcy is the legal status given by the court for a person or a business that he cannot repay the debts. This is the difference. This is the state and this is the legal status or legal term of a person that he cannot repay. See, if banks gave loans to person and now they saying we are insolvent, or they became insolvent and bankrupt and they are saying that we can't pay the loans. But now the problem is how banks get these loans back. For that, this Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016 was formulated. And this is a single law for both insolvency and bankruptcy cases. India striking democratic space. This article is about the next elections, BJP, what are the issues of this present government. But for prelims perspective, we have to see 3 issues discussed in this article. The first issue is NRC, National Register of Citizens, and the second issue is Article 35A, and the third issue is Citizenship Amendment Bill of 2016. These 3 comes under GS paper 2, Indian polity. National Register of Citizens we have discussed. This is updating the people or Assam citizens, tracing these people and updating them in a register. We call this as National Register of Citizens. And the next one is Article 35A. This article gives special provisions to Jammu and Kashmir, and in this article there will be a clause permanent residents, and for these residents Jammu and Kashmir they'll be having special provisions like employment, reservations, and these people only have to own the house. Like that there will be permanent residents. But the issue is, if a girl in Jammu and Kashmir marries any other person apart from the Jammu and Kashmir, then she will lose the status and she cannot own the house. This is the issue, and Article 35A is in use because of this violates fundamental rights. For several issues, this Article 35A case is in whether this is constitutionally valid or not. This is in use, and this NRC, I have said this Assam citizens register. This is register will contain Assam citizens names, but so many people are excluded, around 42,000 or so. These people are excluded from this citizens, and this is one more issue. And the third one is Citizenship Amendment Bill. What is this Citizenship Bill about? This will grant citizenship in a shortened time frame to Hindu minorities from South Asian neighborhood. The Citizenship Bill 2016 will provide citizenship to illegal migrants from 3 countries, that is Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan, who are of either Hindus, Sikhs, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis or Christians. That is, these people are minorities in these 3 countries, and this excludes Muslims because they are majorities. But based on the religion, can we segregate like this? Can we grant citizenship like this? This is the question. And these three issues are in news. This amendment bill, this NRC, and Article 35. From UPSC perspective, you should know what these three are. The Supreme Court transformed. Here, the article is about Section 377. And this topic also comes under GS Paper 2, Indian Polity. What is this Section 377? Section 377 criminalizes sexual activities against the order of nature. But Supreme Court 6th of this month has decided to announce that Section 377 was unconstitutional. And remember, this Section 377 speaks about homosexual sex and consensual sex and sex with minors. But in this judgment, it has granted that is in case of homosexual sex only, this Section 377 was made unconstitutional. The judgment doesn't speak about this too. Remember, from prelims point of view. Wiping out AIDS by 2030 will not be easy. Here in this article, you should know about this organization, National AIDS Control Organization. First point about any organization you should know is whether this is any government organization or it is an NGO or any other civil societies. This is a division of India's Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. That is, this is a government organization, works under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. You should know this ministry. After knowing this government organization, you should know under which ministry this organization works. This works under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And you should know what are the functions of this organization. This provides leadership to HIV control programs that is going on in the country. And how this organization will control all these programs? By forming some societies, and around 35 HIV prevention and control societies were controlled by this organization, and this organization also frames policies and implements programs for the prevention and control of the HIV/AIDS in the country. Supreme Court questions leprosy free track for India. Here you should know the two things. The first thing is National Leprosy Eradication Program and the second one is Antyodaya Anna yojana. First one is National Leprosy Eradication Program. Before, in 1955, to eradicate leprosy, we have started a program, that is Government of India had launched a program, that is National Leprosy Control Program, based on the DAPS-1 immunotherapy. That is, based on this DAPS-1 therapy, they have started. And in 1982, a drug, this multi-drug therapy, that is treatment through this multi-drug, came into wide use in 1982, and from then in 1983 this program was changed as National Leprosy Eradication Program, and this program is again expanded with the World Bank assistance. That is, through this program in India they have to eradicate, they thought to eradicate this leprosy, and for that they have given free multi-drug therapies to all sub-centers. They make sure that this drug is available all sub-centers, public or primary health centers and government hospitals, dispensaries. We have all these government hospitals. For all these centers, they make sure that this drug is available, and so that they can reduce this leprosy. This is the Leprosy Eradication Program that is rechanged in 1983 as this name. Before it was working with this name of National Leprosy Control Program. And this topic comes under topic health of GS paper 2 social justice. And here the other also comes under social justice schemes topic, that is Antyodaya Anna yojana. What is this scheme about? This scheme gives subsidized food to millions of poorest people. Through this scheme, they will identify who are the beneficiaries and they will give Antyodaya ration cards, or now we are calling this as PDS yellow cards, that is, we'll be calling yellow cards or ration cards we'll call normally. Through these cards, the government is providing rice and wheat to the poorest of the poor. By identifying these people, they are providing rice and wheat and other supplies to these families. Try to answer today's questions. The first question is, which of the following are the effects of the increased emissions of aerosols in the atmosphere? The first option is, increased cooling is seen during the day and night temperatures are increasing. And the third option is, diurnal temperature difference is increasing. Try to select which of these three are correct and try to answer this question. And the second question is about OECD, Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. Which of the following statements are true about this OECD? India is a member country of this organization. And the second statement is, World Economic Outlook is the biannual report released by OECD. Try to answer these two questions, and the detailed explanations of these questions will be given in the next core video. And you can access our core notes at www.likes.in/CivilsPrep. Thank you.